I'm super excited to turn the spotlight on one mom today on our Spotlight on Mom segment to a mom who actually is a morning show host at Krkt Country, KRKT in Oregon. And she has 4 children. Her name is Angela, and I want to welcome Angela to Mom Talk Radio. So welcome, Angela.
Thank you so much. This is, I'm very nervous, even though I do this every day. I don't know.
Oh,
why.
my gosh, you're not nervous. I think it's harder to have 4 kids, isn't it?
Yes, most definitely, yes. Yeah, we've got our routines, so we have it, as long as we stick to the routines for the most part, then we can get through a day without any major meltdowns.
So you kind of have a focus in your family about making memories with your kids. Out of all of the focus, like in my family, I guess maybe it's a little bit close to that. Like travel was like our focus. So why did you pick that particular focus?
My husband and I, we've talked about how we grew up, and we've talked about things like his trip to Disneyland that his mom took him and his sister on. And I said, now, is that your best memory from childhood? And he said, no, it's not even in the top 10. Our best memories from childhood are so much, at the time, to our parents, maybe seemed way less significant, but they're the things we remember the most. And so, it feels like yesterday that I was a child, and now I'm 39 years old, and so I can remember things so vividly that I enjoyed with my parents, and they were the small things. Like one of my earliest memories is playing Go Fish on the living room floor with my mom, and I was maybe 3 years old, and I recognized I've got a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old, and I recognized that like the 4-year-old maybe hasn't had his first memory yet, or maybe he has, but I just want to make sure it's a good one. I don't want it to be something traumatizing.
That is a really good point, that when you think of your first memory, it's not often where we put the effort. I don't know why, but I always remember watching Woody the Woodpecker on Saturday mornings before my mom took me to my ballet class. I have no idea why, but when I think of Saturday mornings, that's what I think of. If you knew what your children were going to hold near and dear to them for the rest of your life, you'd probably focus more on that than you do on probably the silly stuff that takes you the most effort out of your busy day. Do you know what I mean? Like the laundry, for instance, or I don't know, or writing notes in your lunchbox. I'm sure that my mother did that, but I don't even remember it, probably because I was so busy trying to, trade my dill pickle for a Little Debbie Swiss roll, right? So, I wonder how you can do that.
It's just a daily, it's just the little things that add up. And that sounds so cliche, but I just try to, I lose it sometimes with them because I have 4 and I have a temper sometimes. And so I do lose it, but I just try to make sure the majority of their day is filled with me being kind to them and being understanding with them. And it's like you said, you don't know what they're going to take with them to adulthood. All I can go on is what I remember from my childhood. And like I said, it's the littler things. It wasn't any of the big extravagant things that mom and dad put a lot of effort into. I may remember that, but what if when my kids get to adulthood and I say to them, oh, do you remember those sweet little notes I wrote to you in your lunchbox? And they say, no, don't remember that at all. Then, my feelings might get hurt. So I just kind of try to bombard them daily with lots of little things that show how much I love them.
You can just hear it in your passion for your kids. I love that discussion, and I think that you and I have challenged people to just take a step back and think about what meant the most in your life growing up. And I bet you that you might shift your priorities tomorrow. I asked one of my college kids recently, hey, tell me about your childhood. And I thought that I was a disciplinarian the whole time growing up. And they're like, oh, no, Mom, you were like the pushover. We had fun with you. And I was like, wow, I completely thought I had done a different thing, but who knows? Moms can find you online at krkt.com and on Twitter at Krkt Country. So, Angela, thank you for sharing some of your day with us and coming back on the radio with us.